What is up, everyone? I am KSI Bubba 7, and I'm here with my boy Ana, and we are launching the very first and the best future global talk, aka the KSI Global podcast. What is up, Ana? How you doing? How you feeling? It is a weird start already. I don't know.
No, we're definitely good, but no, I'm glad to be here. I think this will be a lot of fun for everybody. I mean, I'm super excited to get this started, and hopefully, everybody listening is just as excited as we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like, honestly, we were talking about before, and just like so many ideas and like things we're like going back and forth with. I think we're going to be, be here for a long time. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
absolutely. I mean, we're not the first. We're not the first people to try this podcast. You know, it's definitely been a thing that we tried a couple times, but I think there's a lot of cool things. There's a lot of things to be excited about right now in KSI. So now's the best time to get this up and running. So
Yeah, no,
we'll
absolutely,
see where this takes us.
absolutely, and I am all the way full ride with you to the very end. So, but I'm gonna have you start off, introduce yourself. A little brief, history here you have in KSI, and we're gonna go from there, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hello everybody again. My name is KSI Anatomy 7. I've been in KSI for a little over 12 years now. So, I got inducted into the KSI Hall of Fame in 2017. I've been all around the ranks, mostly in web apps ranks. So, I used to be a forms administrator when the forms were up and running. I've done director of web apps. I've been in Bubba's position at some points, even. So, it's kind of funny that the two of us get to work together in this sense. Um, but as KSI changed and the dynamics of all the web app stuff changed, so did my time. So kind of getting back into the groove of things, working with my stuff with graphics. You can go check out my stuff over there. Always great to work with different leaders, new generation. I mean, Bubba over here is a great example. Somebody where I wish I would have been able to meet you 10+ years ago because we would have killed it back then. So you know, kind of stuff I'm working on right now is podcasting with Bubba, working over in graphics with coding, and we'll see where it takes us from here. So I'm excited.
Man, I should just go home now because I can't top that off.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good.
Well, hey, man.
Let's hear about you.
Yeah, man. But I want to say, great for your service, man. Hall of Fame and everything. Like, you did tremendous work over the years that, I don't know you that long for, but when we worked together the first time, like, it just clicked. So it's good to have you and, have you part of the podcast, man. But
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
so my turn, I guess. so,
Yeah.
hey everyone, again, I'm KSI Bubba 7. I'm currently serving KSI Global for position as director of web ops. I joined back in 2018. I've been here about a little over 5 years. Climbed up the ranks through clan ops up to code div leader, mainly like anatomy. uh, I, worked my way up more on the web ops side, became a mod in 2020, and just basically moved up and became the director of web ops the first time. Then moved up like last year. I became the director of operations. Did my 6 month term, moved up to executive director, did the 6 months there, and they just didn't want enough of me, so they put me back as director of web ops. But other than that, I'm here and freaking ready, man. I'm excited. I can't get over it, man. I can't get over it. I think it's gonna be a great freaking podcast season,
No,
dude.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I think so too. And to give credit where credit's due here, I mean, you joked about like thanking me for my service. I mean, I never got to work my way up to the top like you had. So there's a lot of great things and a lot of cool things you've got to share as
yeah, no,
well.
I mean, a
So
lot of experience.
definitely excited for that.
I got a lot of experience, man, just like overall, and like especially, with the hard times and hardships that we had to go through, like when I was ops director and ED, like it was wild. It was very wild, but I'm happy that, we survived, and, great things are happening, and we have, a lot to talk to about that, actually in this episode. So you guys are, in for a win right now. So we're going to, you know, uh, get things started, I guess.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, obviously, want to throw out a huge shout out to everything that's been going on in the last like 4 5 months or so. I mean, definitely in the last, I feel like month is when it really has shown. But I mean, the turnaround of like this rebirth of KSI. I mean, when I came back into the server most recently, I've only been back in the server for about a month at this point. But I was told that KSI was in a weird spot and just being like down below 100 members and things like that. So I mean, definite shout out to every single person, whether you're a brand new recruit or someone that's been struggling and working through these hardships. Everything going on in Final Judgment right now is just absolutely amazing. So whether or not you had a huge role or just were here along for the ride, I mean, the fact that you're even here listening to us and being a part of the KSI community, and I mean, now's the best time to be.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It is it's a little chaos, but in a good way. All the leaders and members overall, they honestly came together and started backing up this community, and it's just a great way to just view and watch from like the distance and like a point of view aspect. It's amazing how everyone just works together, gets in line, and just helps when people need help and everything. It's freaking awesome. It is freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, I mean, looking at my time at KSI, I mean, just in the last like year or so of me hanging out around you guys again, kind of looking at the amount of like Hall of Famers or like old time members that are kind of back, trying to help out and like talking to the new members and like getting into interact. I mean, that's such a great experience. I mean, people that have been around since 2005, 2006. I mean, in my time when I was coming up in like 2011, 2012, those people had been like gone for a little bit. I never got to see them, or like even the chance of sitting down with a Hall of Fame member seems so unrealistic. But the fact in this Discord, there's so many different members with so many different experiences. Seeing everybody come together again. Not that every old leader needs to be in a high up position. It's cool to see them working their way back from the bottom again, like really interacting and making KSI like the community that we all fell in love with. Whether it was you joining 2005, joining like myself in 2011, or even the people joining in 2023 right now. I mean, it's so cool to see all this stuff coming
No, it is,
together.
and it's crazy. It's like a new era, and like having the mixture of leadership skills and knowledge and everything from ages from 18 to I don't know who even the oldest member here, 40, who knows, Lyndon. Anyway, so
Yeah, who knows? Oh, Rip Linden, Rip Linden.
sorry, Lyndon, love you.
For the record, Bubba said that,
He
not
told me
me.
I'm reading the script. I'm reading the script that he sent me. But look, all funny and everything. It is nice and it's insane. But look, we're talking about the final judgment, and they're coming up with a split right now. They've been or overall game operations. They've been like a one big division for such a long time, and they are having the transition to become like a division still, but have now squads again. So real quick before we get into that, just want to have you guys know what the plan is, what we're going to be covering, and our intentions for the reason for the podcast and everything, and where to find us and everything like that. So I'm going to hand that over to you, Anna. You just speak well, and I just want the Hall of Fame have the honor to like, you know, get that opportunity. So, yeah, I'll have it all you.
Oh, geez. Oh, man. So, I mean, looking at this, hopefully looking at like a bi-weekly schedule right now is probably what Bubba and I are going to aim for. It's one of those things, like I said, the plan for us is to make sure that we're pushing out content and stuff for you guys to interact with. So, if everything that you guys see on Discord, we'll be posting our links here. We'll have it up on Twitter and, any other social media that we're able to get in touch with. Right now is a great time for KSI where we can actually explore these different options together and bring it together in a sense where it's like the members are going to be the ones deciding, how how booked Bubba and I are going to be. Because if you love us talking and love listening to us, we're definitely going to be able to, bring together more podcasts. But kind of looking at right now, like that bi-weekly schedules to make sure that we're actually able to put out content for you guys. Not to dog on any other people that have had an attempt at running a KSI podcast, but it's always a thing where it's like an episode or two, and then it kind of falls off. So we want to make sure that we're keeping it fresh and upbeat. So if you guys ever have any stuff that you're like, hey, we should talk about this, or we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, you can definitely DM either Bubba or I, and we'll be able to reach out to you in that sense. But
No,
I
I
don't know,
mean, you
Bubba, you
hit
want to
it
add
right
anything
on
else?
the nail. We're gonna, like you said, we want to be here. We want to, have you guys share with us what you want to, talk about or, want to hear about and everything like that. But, it's just going to be, day by day, or, in our case, every other week, and talking about, just the things going on in KSI, some other things that, happened in the past, or, special guests and everything like that. So it's going to be quite different from all the other podcasts out there that we personally did. So, look, back to Final Judgment. All right. I know the new division name, or it's going around, and I don't know if they announced it. Did they announce it officially, or because I don't really want to say it if they didn't announce it? Do you know if they announced it?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. So we could tease at it a little bit, if nothing else. But I'm not sure if
Okay.
they've
All
officially
right.
announced
Okay.
anything at
Well,
this.
I want to know. I think it's a good name. I think it is a good name. Why? Well, and I will tell you why. The one of the words, I don't want to really say one of the words, but overall, it's like surviving. It is a good name because it shows of how much the membership and leadership and everything, survived, through the hardships and stuff. And from, you know, 2 years ago, from now, it's moving, it's growing, and it's a good like image, in a sense, where, like, damn, like, we pulled it off. We fought, we got out of the hole, and now we're like shining. We're, growing other things. We're, talking about different aspects, and, advertising, who knows what. There's a lot of things, happening, and, I'm excited. I'm excited more than this podcast. It's craziness.
No, absolutely. And I mean, looking at it too, to put a little, sadness to all the old time members, like it was definitely a discussion about trying to retire some of these historic division names. So, sorry to everybody, myself included, who wanted things like, the synthetic realities or the last strikes, or, all the 0 degrees, zero gravities to come back. This is actually a time for the new members to really take charge of their own thing and create their own history rather than just us having a historic name to bring it together. As much as I'd love it to be Legacy of the Blood Oath, which was the division that I created, that got vetoed really quick. But this is a great time to have that divisional pride, and once you get able to rally behind a name that represents the new generation and the rebirth of KSI. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
man, and I
everybody's
can't
going to be
wait. I
really
can't
excited
wait
by it.
for, more squads to build, and more divisions and everything like that. So, but one step at a time. But I can't even, like, think twice. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, no doubt. Like, at this rate, it's friggin' amazing. It's friggin'
No,
going.
definitely.
But oh man, whew, man, I'm getting chills, bro. I'm getting chills, goosebumps.
No, I can definitely feel it too. I mean, actually putting words to it. I mean, it's so cool to see everybody come together. And I know I mentioned it before, but I mean, just to reiterate, thank you to everybody. I mean, for the fact of us even being around for the community as long as we have been. I mean, the fact that KSI has been around 20 plus years, that's absolutely ridiculous at this point. I don't think that they originally had that aspiration of like, hey, we're going to be a long time thing, we're going to be a household name in a sense, but here we are and still
Yeah,
taking
man,
that
hell
same
yeah. And
pride.
it's like a
It's so
rebirth.
awesome to see.
Right now it's a rebirth stage of KSI, and we're just taking it day by day. Like you said earlier, the members that been here for a while or have left but came back to help us and, get things moving again. It's a great, thing to look back and say, look, all right, we need this, that, let's do it. And they're doing it, and I want to congratulate them, in such a success so far right now, with the division, and they're killing it. They're honestly killing it. We got KSI Frosty 7. He's freaking killing it. They got new leaders coming up in the works, like New Blue, Kit Kat, Odin. Uh, there's just so many names, but there was a few that were Gladius. They were just killing it, man. They're just everyone. It honestly comes down to the line where everyone's working as a team. Everyone's communicating better. From the past, it was terrible, and I'll admit that, but it was great now looking at it, and it's thriving. It is definitely thriving. But and I want to actually tell you, and not tell you, but ask you, like, if you had to like change, or not change, but make a new name for a division, what would it be? Like, what would your suggestion be?
Ooh, see, this is something we're looking at it, you know, quite honestly, the opposite of, back when I was coming up, like in squad, before I even got any like leadership roles or even earning my seven, I had a general that was like one of my first mentors. His name was KSI Chronicle. Chronicle, I guarantee, is not listening to this. If you are, you should message me because it's been like fucking 8 years. But um, he his aspiration for the community was having his own division, and the name for that was Darkest Hour. And honestly, looking at like what I would name it right now is quite honestly the opposite. Because instead of it being like something like that, where in my mind I always was like, if I get my own division, I have to call it Darkest Hour because he was my first mentor. That's what he wanted to see. Um, but right now, looking at KSI, I mean, we're so far away from like the dark times or like the weird. I'm not going to sit here and name, if of the 2020 2021 issues. um Looking at quite honestly the opposite of what my mentor had wanted his division, and being instead of being the darkest hours, looking at the positivity and the lights of this rebirth would be something really cool to bring together. So I mean, like things like angelic or lights or rebirth, I mean, those are all great
That's
words to put
dope.
along with, I
Yeah,
think,
I was
where the
thinking
community
about
is
it
going
the
right
other
now.
day, and I was like, if I had to name a division, new one, or rename this one that's currently here, Final Judgment, why not? I would probably want to name it New Era. You know, I look at New Era, it would be NE, and it it explains and like puts the impression like, all right, this is rebirth. This is new generation of gamers that are young, freaking like motivated, got the morale up, and they want to do damage in a good sense, of course. But it's their time and it's their division. And honestly, I can say it over and over again. Right now, they are thriving, dude. They are thriving. They're building so fast, but so efficiently at the same time. I've never seen it before in like years of in gaming communities.
I will say though, I think it was Vic promised me, and I told him I would go and rebuy an Xbox just to join the division. That he was joking about it being called Clapping
Clapping
Cheeks. That would
cheeks.
be a pretty
Oh
good option too.
man.
Yeah. The discussion that came up about it being 18 plus over here, and I was like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The name that we're rolling with, and teasing at announcing here,
Oh my
I
god,
would
bro.
definitely
If
suffice for
you
Clapping
ever
Cheeks. So Vic, if you're listening, I still stand by. If that division happens, you will see me as your newest
I'll beat you
prospect
freaking
within
less than an
24
hour, I'll be
hours.
part of that. You crazy? That's insane. Clapping cheeks.
Heck yeah! And you can only imagine all the. Yeah, I'll leave it for the comments and everybody talking about it afterwards. Like if we got that
Oh
division
my
going,
god.
like
Yo,
what's your
I don't
squad
even want
name
to
at that point?
hear the name of the squad. But we're going to leave that at next episode. We'll catch up. But guys, thank you for, listening in for the first podcast episode on Global Talk hosted by Bubba and your Hall of Fame, Ana. Uh Honestly, before we click the stop recording, Ana, you have anything you'd like to say? And nothing
Oh
about
man,
clapping
put
cheeks,
me on the hot
please.
seat here. You know, I oh man, that's all that's ever on my mind. No, absolutely. I mean, my ending thing is kind of thanking everybody. Looking at this is a great opportunity for the two of us to get to work together, and like we said in the beginning, your guys' interaction is going to be what keeps us going. So, if you made it this far into the podcast, we're probably doing something right. So I
Hell yeah,
appreciate
man.
everybody,
And I
and
can't wait for the next
hopefully you'll
episode.
continue
But
listening.
guys, you heard it here very first, the Global Talk podcast, for KSI Global Gaming. But it is that time. Anna and me, we out. Talk to you next time.
Peace out.